Good day and thank you for joining us on the Beetv Global News Update at 12. I am Lee Britman Joanna. Now the news in details. Zoran Mandani was officially sworn in as the 112th mayor of New York City on January 1st, 2026, a historic moment that marked the beginning of a new political era for the nation's largest city. Representative Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, DNY, took the stage as the Mandani's public inauguration ceremony, hailing his election as a signal of transformative change for New York City. The report.
She described his rise to leadership as a new era, underscoring the city's choice of historic, ambitious leadership rooted in policies aimed at expanding opportunity and equity for working-class residents. Mandani, 34, made multiple firsts in New York's political history. He became the first Muslim mayor, the first of South Asian descent, and one of the youngest mayors in generations. His initial private swearing-in took place just after midnight in a symbolic ceremony at the Old City Hall subway station, where he placed his hand on the Quran to take the oath. At the public event, Ocasio-Cortez praised New Yorkers for choosing leadership that prioritizes universal child care, affordable housing, public transit, and economic justice over entrenched interests. She said the city had chosen prosperity for the many over science for the few, and set high expectations for Mandani's administration. Mandani's platform, rooted in democratic socialist principles, calls for expanding public services including free buses, universal child care, and a rent-free for millions of households funded in part by higher taxes on the wealthy. His agenda reflects a bold departure from past administrations and has drawn both strong support and vocal criticism. The inauguration also featured a ceremonial oath administered by Senator Bernie Sanders, drawing thousands of supporters to City Hall and reinforcing the progressive movement's influence in local governments. As Mandani moves into office, he inherits significant challenges including a tight city budget, housing affordability pressures, and a polarized political landscape. But supporters including Ocasio-Cortez view his ascent as a defining moment for New York's future. Zainab Mohammed reporting for Beetv News.
Zoran Mandani was sworn in as the 112th mayor of New York City just after midnight on January 1st, 2026, marking the formal start of his term in one of the most unconventional inaugurations in the city's history. In a symbolic ceremony held beneath Manhattan at the decommissioned Old City Hall subway station, Mandani took the oath of office administered by New York Attorney General Letitia James, placing his hand on the Quran in a moment celebrated for its representation of the city's diversity and its own personal heritage. The report.
Mandani, a democratic socialist and former New York State Assembly member representing Astoria, becomes the city's youngest mayor in generations, its first Muslim leader, and its first mayor of South Asian and African birth. Taking the oath at the abandoned subway station, one of the city's original 1904 stops with sculpted arches, underscored his message of connecting with everyday New Yorkers and elevating the city's oft-forgotten infrastructures and working communities. In brief remarks after taking office, Mandani called the venue a testament to the importance of public transit to the health and the legacy of our city before announcing his first major appointment as mayor, Mike Flynn as the new commissioner of the Department of Transportation. Hours later, Mandani participated in a larger public inauguration at City Hall, where his oath was administered by U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders in front of a crowd of supporters, city officials, and his family. In speeches that followed, he pledged to unify the city and pursue what he described as bold and transformative policy. Mandani's inaugural address emphasized unity and inclusion across New York's diverse neighborhoods, addressing workers, families, immigrants, and long-term residents alike. He framed the beginning of his administration as a new era for the city, one focused on broad economic opportunity, equity, and expanded public services. The new mayor campaigned on an agenda centered around affordability and social supports, including universal child care, fare-free buses, rent freezes, and initiatives to address income inequality and housing shortages, and now faces the challenge of translating those promises into actionable city policy amid political negotiations with the state legislature and federal stakeholders. Mandani succeeds former Mayor Eric Adams, whose term was overshadowed by legal scrutiny and criticism over rising living costs. With his term officially underway at the start of 2026, Mandani's administration is poised to bring a marked shift in New York City governance. Zainab Mohammed reporting for Beetv News.
A devastating fire ripped through a crowded bar during New Year's Eve celebrations in the upscale Swiss Alpine Ski Resort of Crans, Montana in the early hours of January 1st, 2026, killing about 40 people and injuring more than 100 others, authorities said. The report.
The blaze broke out at Lee Constellation, a popular bar and nightclub in the center of the resort at around 1:30 a.m. local time, as revelers packed the venue to ring in the new year. Emergency services were called as smoke and flames spread rapidly through the building. Witnesses described scene of horror and chaos as the fire overtook the packed crowd. Many people were trapped in the basement level, choking on thick smoke and struggling to escape. One survivor said he had to break a window to get out, with his clothes partly burned and others trapped around him. Another witness recounted seeing flames sweeping up the wooden ceiling within seconds, with patrons screaming and scrambling to flee up narrow stairs or out through small exits, some resorting to smashing windows to escape the inferno. Authorities have not confirmed exactly how the fire started. Multiple accounts from those present suggested that sparkler-style candles on champagne bottles brought out during the festivity may have ignited the wooden ceiling, causing the blaze to erupt without warning, though investigations are ongoing. Swiss police have ruled out terrorism as a cause and said the fire appears to have been accidental, but officials cautioned that the exact sequence of events is still under investigation. Emergency crew responded with urgency, with helicopters, ambulances, and disaster response team rushing victims to hospitals across Switzerland. Burn units in cities such as Lausanne, Geneva, and Zurich were handling many of the most seriously injured. The Valais cantonal government declared a state of emergency, modernizing all available resources to deal with the scale of the tragedy. Authorities are still working to identify the victims. Swiss President Guy Parmelin described the blaze as one of the worst tragedies our country has faced, offering condolences to families of the victims and recognizing the efforts of rescuers and medical personnel. The incidents have cast a somber shadow over what was meant to be a joyful celebration, the mourners laying flowers and tributes outside the site in the aftermath of the disaster. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
St. police have seized a cargo vessel suspected of damaging an undersea telecommunications cable linking Helsinki, Finland, Tallinn, and Estonia in an incident that has heightened security concerns in the Baltic Sea region. The report.
Authorities said the ship, identified as the Theisberg, was intercepted in the Gulf of Finland after a fault was detected on the subsea telecom cable early on Wednesday. The vessel, which was sailing from St. Petersburg, Russia, to Haifa, Israel, is believed to have caused the damage while dragging its anchor along the seabed. The Finnish National Bureau of Investigation confirmed that the ship was ordered to stop, raise its anchor, and proceed into Finnish territorial waters where it was formerly seized. Police said the anchor and the vessel movements are central to the ongoing investigation. All 14 crew members on board the ship have been detained for questioning. The crew reportedly includes nationals from Russia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, and Azerbaijan. Investigators are examining the incident on suspicion of aggravated criminal damage and aggravated interference with telecommunications. The damaged cable is owned by Finnish telecommunications company Elisa. The company said services were not disrupted as traffic was enrouted through alternative connections. Estonian authorities also reported faults on another undersea cable connecting Estonia and Finland on the same day, though officials have not yet confirmed whether the incidents are linked. Finnish authorities have not stated whether the damage was intentional or accidental, noting that the investigation is still at an early stage. However, the seizure comes amid increased vigilance over critical undersea infrastructure in the Baltic Sea following a series of cable and pipeline incidents in recent years. The Baltic region has become a focus of heightened security since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, with NATO country increasing maritime surveillance to protect energy and telecommunications infrastructure. Finnish officials said further details will be released as the investigation progresses. Evelyn Isabella reporting for Beetv News.
A senior Russian military official has handed what he described as a physical and digital evidence to a United States military attaché, claiming it proves that Ukraine carried out a drone attack targeting a Russian presidential residence earlier this week. The report.
According to Russian state-linked officials, the material presented included fragments of a downed unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, which Moscow says was recovered after Russian air defenses intercepted the drone. The official alleged that data extracted from the drone's onboard systems showed flight path and targeting information pointing to a presidential facility associated with President Vladimir Putin. Russian authorities said the exchange took place during a formal meeting with the U.S. military attaché in Moscow. The senior military chief reportedly told the American official that Russia viewed the alleged strike as a serious escalation of the conflict and a direct threat to the Russian head of state. The Kremlin has not publicly specified the exact location of the presidential residence that was allegedly targeted, citing security concerns. However, Russian officials emphasized that the facility was under heavy protection and that no damage or casualties were reported as a result of the incident. Ukraine has not confirmed carrying out any attack on a Russian presidential residence. Ukrainian officials have previously stated that their military operations are focused on legitimate military targets and have repeatedly denied claims by Moscow of attacks aimed at assassinating or directly targeting President Putin. The United States has also not publicly commented on the evidence presented. U.S. officials have consistently said they cannot independently verify many battlefield claims made by either side in the conflicts and have urged caution in assessing unverified allegations. The incident comes amid heightened tension between Russia and Ukraine, with increased drone activity reported by both sides in recent weeks. Analysts note that drone warfare has become a central feature of the conflict, with both countries accusing each other of expanding strikes deeper into territory away from active front lines. Russia has warned that any attack it considered a direct threat to its leadership will be met with what it described as a firm and appropriate response. The situation remains closely watched by international observers as diplomatic and military pressures continue to build. Evelyn Isabella reporting for Beetv News.
Bulgaria has officially adopted the euro as its national currency, becoming the 21st member of the Eurozone, in a historic move that marks the culmination of years of economic preparation and the EU integration. The transition took effect at midnight, replacing the Bulgarian lev after nearly 2 decades of pegging the currency to the euro. Crowds gathered outside the Bulgarian National Bank in Sofia to witness the moment, with fireworks lighting the sky and celebrations continuing into the early hours of the morning. The report.
The adoption of the euro follows a formal decision by the European Union in July 2025, confirming that Bulgaria had successfully met all convergence criteria set out under the Maastricht Treaty. These criteria include stable inflation rate, sound public finance, low government debt, a stable exchange rate within the exchange rate mechanism, 2, and compliance with euro monetary and legal framework. A fixed conversion rate of $1 to 1.95583 Bulgarian lev was established, reflecting the long-standing peg to the euro since 1999. During January 2026, both the lev and euro will circulate concurrently. While lev banknotes and coins remain accepted for payments, change will be given exclusively in euros. From 1st January 2026, the euro will become the sole legal tender. Citizens can exchange live banknotes and coins at bank, post office, and the Bulgarian National Bank free of charge until 30th June 2026, after which fees may apply. Retailers are required to display prices in both currencies during the dual pricing period, which will continue until August 2026, ensuring a smooth transition and protecting consumers. The move also strengthens Bulgaria's role in European monetary policy. The governor of the Bulgarian National Bank has taken a seat on the European Central Bank Governing Council, giving Bulgaria a voice in Eurozone decisions. Economists predict that euro adoption will facilitate trade, attract investment, reduce currency exchange costs, and integrate Bulgaria more deeply into the European single market. Public reaction has been mixed. While many celebrate the historic milestone, some Bulgarians express concern over potential price increases and the perceived loss of national monetary identity. Surveys conducted prior to the transition indicated significant opposition from certain segments of the population. Additionally, the currency change comes amid ongoing political unrest and public protest over fiscal policy in Sofia, highlighting the challenges of major economic reforms. Officials emphasize that euro adoption does not eliminate Bulgaria's economic responsibilities. The country must continue maintaining fiscal discipline, inflation control, and financial stability to fully benefit the Eurozone membership. Analysts also note that this move aligns Bulgaria with other European countries that have successfully transitioned to the euro, potentially open doors for further economic growth and regional influence. Bulgaria's entry into the Eurozone represents not just a change in currency, but a symbolic milestone in its long-term integration into Europe's economic and political structures. The celebration across Sofia reflects both national pride and optimism about the opportunities that comes with joining the euro area, even as challenges remain in ensuring that benefits of euro adoption are felt by all citizens. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
You're still watching Beetv Global News Update. While we go on a short break, to stay with us.
Gone but not forgotten. Our dearly beloved mommy and matriarch, late Madam Gift Soe Irabo. Mommy, it's been 8 years since you left us in this sinful world, and just like a burnt-down library, our world crashed when death took you away from us. As our mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, sister, aunt, and mother-in-law, we will not forget in a hurry the great lessons you taught us, especially your prayerful lifestyle that brought us closer to God. We remember your undying love, care, and passion for God and man. The entire family of Yorama Irabo of Ogo Town in Orion local government area of Edo State cordially invites the public to the 8 years remembrance of their daughter, mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother, Madam Gift Soe Irabo. Date: January 13, 2026. Venue: Rose Garden Event Center, number 22, Giwa Amu Street, off Airport Road, GRA, Benin City. Time: 12 p.m. prompt. Mommy, continue to rest until we meet to part no more. We love you dearly. Signed, Ambassador Ogene Osaumese JP for the family.
Welcome back, and now to business news. There is a palpable tension among freight forwarding practitioners in the nation's maritime sector following the implementation of the new tax regime, which took effect on Thursday, January 1st, 2026. The report.
Some freight agents who spoke with newsmen say several shipping lines have already begun holding meetings over possible increases in freight charges, a development that could further raise the cost of doing business at the ports. The federal government on January 1st, 2026 officially commenced a comprehensive overhaul of Nigerian tax system. The reform, described as one of the most significant in decades, is aimed at simplifying taxation, promoting economic growth, expanding compliance and easing the tax burden on low-income earners. The tax reform is part of a broader fiscal policy initiative of the federal government under President Bola Tinubu, designed to modernize the country's tax system, improve revenue collection efficiency, and enhance Nigeria's economic competitiveness. Despite political controversy surrounding aspects of the legislative process, the government reaffirmed its commitment to the January 1st, 2026 implementation date. Foreign investors maintain a cautious posture in Nigeria's equity market in November 2025 as total foreign equity transaction on the Nigerian Exchange Limited remained below 200 billion naira for the second consecutive month, reinforcing signs of subdued offshore participation amid persistent macroeconomic and policy-related concerns. According to data contained in the NGX Domestic and Foreign Portfolio Investment Report, foreign equity trades declined by 13.17% month-on-month to 162.04 billion naira in November 2025, compared with 186.62 billion naira recorded in October 2025. The sustained sub-200 billion naira performance over 2 consecutive months points to a prolonged moderation in foreign trading activities on the exchange. Nigeria insurers are projecting to record a combined profit after tax of 10.59 billion naira for the first quarter of 2026, according to a company filing with the Nigerian Exchange Group. The forecast reflects strong contribution from major players including AIICO Insurance PLC, Regency Alliance Insurance PLC, AXA Mansard Insurance PLC, and International Energy Insurance PLC. AIICO Insurance PLC leads the sector with a project part of 5.06 billion naira, driven by an insurance service result of 3.26 billion naira and net investment income of 20.85 billion naira. Its cash flow outlook shows a net increase in cash and cash equivalent to 4.87 billion naira, bringing closing cash balance to 24.08 billion naira. Favor Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
And on the entertainment news, social media is buzzing after nightlife mogul Cubana chief priest wife, The Angels, dropped a strong and unapologetic message aimed at prospective and incoming side chicks. The report.
In a viral clip circulating online, she issued a blunt warning, making it clear that her marriage is not up for grabs. The statement, which quickly went viral, is widely seen as a direct response to rumors, attention, and advances often associated with wealthy and popular men. Cubana chief priest, known for his flashy lifestyle and strong social media presence, has frequently been at the center of online gossip, especially following allegations by a Kenyan woman, Helen, who claimed he fathered her child. In another development, popular Nollywood actor Yul Edochie has once again stirred reactions online after posting a beautiful birthday tribute to his wife Judy Austin as she celebrated another year. Taking to Instagram, he shared a video showing Judy elegantly dressed in a pink traditional outfit, radiating confidence and joy. In a heartfelt message accompanying the clip, Yul showered Judy with praise, referring to her with several traditional titles and affectionate names. He also prayed for God's blessing upon her life, asking for long life, fulfillment of her heart's desires, and many more fruitful years ahead. Nigerian singer Skills has shared an emotional testimony about how his fortunes changed in 2025, crediting a viral moment involving Barcelona wonderkid Lamine Yamal as a turning point in his career. He made this known while giving his testimony at Harvesters Church. Speaking, the musician recounted how he began the year with intense prayer and fasting, describing the period as the most spiritually demanding season of his life. According to Skills, he wrote down 7 specific prayer points, all of which he says were answered in a single day. Skills explained that the viral clip, which showed the teenage football star dancing to his song, sparked renewed attention for his music and helped revive public interest in his career. And that is on the entertainment news. Evelyn Isibile reporting for Beetv News.
And lastly, on sports news, Chelsea have begun the process of appointing a new head coach following the departure of Enzo Maresca, with Strasbourg manager Liam Rosnell emerging as the leading candidate for the position. Maresca, 45, left the club on Thursday after just one season in charge, amid reports of internal tensions with Chelsea's hierarchy and ownership. The Italian, who previously guided Leicester City to promotion, is it as the club once again seeks to reset its long-term project. Rosnell, 41, is understood to be the front-runner to replace Maresca, although other candidates remain under consideration. The former Hull City manager is believed to have strong internal backing at Stamford Bridge, with speculations intensifying over a potential move to West London. Strasbourg are already considering possible replacements should Rosnell leave the club. And that's it on our Global News Update. Thank you for joining us. I am Lee Waitman Johanna.
Religion.